Hi everyone, this little video is just a little short one. If you're putting radiators back on, you took them off for decorating and you have a combi boiler. It's a little kind of trick. I've took this one off here and another one the other side of this wall here, and I've just put it back on, and obviously I've started bleeding this one and I've got to the top and it's kind of faded off the pressure of the air out the bleed valve, and now I've started on the one round the back and it's petered out altogether. So why has that happened? Well, quite simply, your combi boiler will need topping up all the time you bleed your radiators, because it's kind of like letting the pressure go. So when you are filling rads back, you will need to keep your combi boiler topped up. Now, because I've been doing the second rad, the last of the pressure has actually gone from the boiler. So there's my pressure gauge, and as you can see, I'm starting to do the second radiator, getting the air out. It dwindled away, no more air was going to come out, and that was because the pressure had dropped to zero, as you can see there. So before we can get any more air out of the radiator and get it filled, we now need to repressurise it. So somewhere or another you will have a filling loop like this. This is my filling loop here, and all you got to do is open that valve and bring the pressure back up to 1.5 bars. Bleed the rad again, it will drop again, and when it does drop down again but it's finally full up, you can put it back to 1.5 bar again, which means obviously again the filling loop here, open one valve then the other, let the water go in until it's filled. But I will show you that in a second now, because I'm going to finish filling up the second radiator. We need to repressurize now and to get the pressure back up so we can bleed that radiator that we just fitted back for after we've decorated. So turn on the valve, can you hear it going in there? There's a little pressure gauge up under here, and that will start to rise. I can see it there, Jan's got the camera, and that will start to lift off its end, stop in a minute, and put some pressure back into the system so that we can once again bleed that radiator. Once it's gone up to about 1.5 bars, we'll cut him off, and then we'll bleed that radiator. Now it will drop again once we've done that radiator, so don't forget that, it will drop away. That's quite normal. Okay, so let's just pump this up now, and then we'll bleed that last radiator, and then when we come back you'll find that valve has dropped once again, because I've used all the pressure in the boiler to get rid of the air from the radiator. So there we are, roughly about there will do. Turn it off, and now we're going to bleed the radiator. We'll bleed this now. Now you can hear the pressure there now. Just now when I was bleeding there was none, it had just come to a grinding halt. There was a little bit of pressure and then it just whittled away. And as the pressure drops in the boiler, it will just whittle away. That one's full now, you can see it there, bleeding. We'll leave that at that for now. That's probably plenty. Shut him off. This one's a bit awkward, these rads, because they're kind of on the side. Most bleed valves are on the end of the radiator here somewhere. This is just an awkward devil. So I've got two sides to do because there's a double radiator. The other one's up this end. Yeah, we'll bleed this one now. So as you can see, it's dropped away to zero once again. So I'm going to open up that little pressure valve filler on the side again, like I did before, on my little filling loop here. There it goes. Mains comes in there and fills into return over there, and it fills the system back up basically. So now we're going to put another 1.5 bars back into the filling loop and pressurise that radiator so we can get the water out. So here we are. Now you'll notice now when I open the valve again there will be pressure once again. So if I open it, and you can hear it there now. Well, in fact, we've filled up straight away. You can see it raining on the floor, belting out, because we've got so much pressure now that we're easily filled up in seconds. We must have been right close on it. So there we are. That's filled up. Jan can wipe up the mess in a minute. Anyway, that's just a little tip from me. If you've taken radiators off and you put them back on the wall and then you find the pressure's dropped away, don't forget that you've got to go to your combi boiler and repressurise virtually on each radiator. So fill one rad, go back to the combi, repressurise to 1.5 bar, do the next radiator is basically the way I do it. If it's a really big radiator, you may need to go back to the boiler twice while you fill it. It depends, you know, it really is a matter of sizing of the radiator. But as soon as you hear that pressure drop away, you'll know that the combi needs pressurising up again, or you won't get the air out of there. So, alright, it's just a little one. And I just thought of it while I was doing the radiators, while we're doing a bit of decorating, so I thought, actually, this might be a handy tip for everyone. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Usual place, all my videos, I'm going to go Derek33. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.